Baptism by Max Kinnings. Narrated by David Balcombe.
10:02 a.m. Tunnel between Leicester Square and Tottenham Court Road stations. From the train, Glenn could just make out the faint sound of voices, passengers talking most probably. Sweat dribbled down his face, and his heart thumped against his sternum. Remember the training. It was like a mantra that had been instilled in him. If he remembered the training, everything would be all right. As a member of CO-19, he was at the sharp end of one of the world's most elite police special operations groups. They had earned a bad reputation in the past due to a couple of high-profile mistakes. The media had made a lot of those while playing down the successes. Glenn felt proud to be a member of CO-19, proud that he had passed the psychological tests and been invited to attend the 8-week training course at the Metropolitan Police Specialist Training Centre to learn about firearms, methods of entry, fast rope skills, scenario intervention, rescue techniques, and potential terrorist attacks. His colleague, Rob, was one of the top specialist firearms officers in the country, and by being chosen to be on operation alongside him, Glenn knew that he too must be held in high regard by the powers that be. The voice was relayed into his headset. "Can you see anything?" "Nothing," said Rob. "Okay then, move in closer and keep talking to me." Rob stood up first and moved past Glenn, who followed him, aiming his 9mm Glock 17 pistol at the train. This was not the most dangerous part of the mission, but it was close to it. They were in the open, approaching a static target with no cover, but they had darkness and the enclosed space of the tunnel on their side. It was unlikely that a night scope would pick them up at this distance. A few feet further on, Rob crouched down on one side of the tunnel and Glenn did the same a few feet behind him, careful not to touch the live rail. "Okay, we're about 20 feet away from it now," said Rob into his mouthpiece. "There's nothing moving and all is quiet." But just as he said these words, something did move. There was a flash from the cab and a soft popping sound. Glenn felt a spray of warm liquid and grit on his face. He glanced at Rob, but there was something wrong with him. The upper right-hand quadrant of his head was completely missing, leaving a jagged fringe of shattered bone fragments and ruptured brain in its place, from which blood sluiced freely as his legs gave way and he collapsed to the ground. "Rob!" Glenn didn't know why he said it. It wasn't as though Rob could hear anything. "What is it?" came the voice over the headset. "Shit!" It wasn't an exclamation. Glenn spoke the word softly. He looked at the train and suddenly felt very lonely. The rules of engagement seemed so far away now. He knew what he had to do, but he also knew what would happen when he did it. He raised his pistol and took aim at the rear cab of the train, from where there was another flash followed by a pop. Before he could fire off a shot, the entire top of his head, from the bridge of his nose upwards, was sheared off, and he fell backwards onto the sleepers between the rails. "Someone talk to me?" The calm, flat voice came from the bloody remains of 2 radio headsets, but no one was listening.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.